You can't beat it. The early morning breeze, the sound of the music echoing off the buildings and everything.
One of Earl Cotton's favorite things is to make music along a corridor rich in American history.
It's right on the main drag. It's on Pennsylvania Avenue, which Pennsylvania Avenue leads right to the Capitol.
Inspired by scenery,
it looks like a castle right in the heart of D.C., and it's beautiful.
Cotton has been playing in the shadow of one of Washington's treasured landmarks for years.
When I look at the tower, I think of history. You know, the history of Benjamin Franklin, the old post office.
Ben Franklin's steady resolve welcomes visitors who stroll by the old post office.
It was built to be the headquarters of the old post office.
Visitors like Lori Savage and her family.
We were walking around the corner and just astonished at the detail.
This stunning structure, completed in 1899, was the city's first skyscraper. It remains its third tallest building.
Unbelievable building.
Granite walls 5 feet thick support a clock tower that soars 315 feet into the sky.
It's just an awe-inspiring building. It's huge, it's gorgeous.
The observation deck offers jaw-dropping panoramic views of a Capitol rarely seen from this perspective.
We heard it was a great site.
Zach Savage and his dad Brian.
It's a really cool building, yep.
Are like so many fathers and sons before them.
What are some of the details you like about the building?
They're enjoying a majestic place that has kept a watchful eye over a city that watches over a nation.
Looks really cool. I'd like to see the inside of it.
But he cannot go in due to an ever-changing financial landscape.
I think it's a lovely building, and I am sorry that it is being closed.
You see, the old post office was closed earlier this month to visitors. This student tour is the last time the general public will enjoy this magnificent space. In 2 years, it will reopen with the same facade, but an entirely new identity. It's being transformed into a luxury hotel, complete with fine dining and upscale shops, by none other than Donald Trump. He's paying $200 million to the federal government for a 60-year lease.
I think he's kind of overstepping.
Amanda Hickman does not want a 115-year-old national treasure turned over to Trump.
This is D.C. I mean, these are national, historic landmarks, and it's going to be a shame that people like us, everybody walking around won't be able to go upstairs and look at the city.
To understand why such drastic measures are being taken, we have to turn back the clock some 80 years. This architectural gem barely survived the 20th century. The post office moved out in the 1930s to be replaced by various federal offices. The building was deemed obsolete in the 60s, almost demolished in the 70s. Now federal officials say it's simply too expensive to return this statuesque structure to its glory.
It'll preserve it for a long time to come.
Lori Savage is in step with federal officials. They believe this massive makeover preserves a cherished piece of history while saving taxpayers millions.
Well, it certainly beats tearing it down. That would have been a shame.
I don't think you can do anything to make it better than what it is now.
If Earl Cotton could, he would play a lullaby for an old building surrounded by more than a century of memories that to be saved must be fundamentally changed. Jay Korff, News Channel 8. Leon, right now investigators remain on the scene combing through what is left of this destroyed home, and you're about to see graphic and gripping video from a man who was among the first on the scene even before first responders. Only moments after arriving at the scene of a home in flames and aircraft debris scattered, Scott Manso felt the power and witnessed the horror that is a plane crash in a neighborhood.
There's one strapped in the seat and one right under the plane.
His voice quivering, Manso did his best to steady his cell phone.
Yeah, I hopped in my car and came because I thought he was going in and saw the smoke.
He says Monday at around 10:45 a.m., he watched in disbelief from a nearby parking lot as the plane struggled to maintain altitude.
And as I'm watching him, he rocks hard over to the left and then very hard over to the right. And I thought, well, that guy could be in trouble.
Seconds later, the twin-engine private jet crashed into homes on Drop Forge Lane, about a mile short of Montgomery County Air Park.
Jumped out of the car, hopped over the fence, That's when I turned on my camcorder. There wasn't a lot of fire around the fuselage, and I was thinking if there was somebody in there, they need to get out.
The plane sliced its way through 3 homes. Investigators say the fuselage came to rest in one front yard. A wing filled with fuel slammed into the home next door, igniting the house on fire.
And it was hot. I mean, I'm standing over at the neighbor's house, and it was really hot, so anybody in that house would have been in trouble.
Officials say Marie Gemmel, her young sons, Cole and Devin, as seen here on Facebook, were found huddled near each other in an upstairs bedroom where they tried but could not find refuge.
Our mission is to find out not only what happened, but why it happened, because we want to make sure that something like this never happens again.
Any high school student would rather be sleeping than getting up at 7 and coming over here, but they love it.
The lecture began soon after sunrise.
Just out of curiosity, how many brought your calculator and a pencil?
But Karen Brown's assignment had more to do with opening hearts than textbooks.
Love them, care for them, and see that they get some practical stuff.
Is it good?
Saturday morning, West Springfield High School students paired up with dozens of underprivileged elementary school children to break bread.
Right now we are eating some breakfast.
And embark upon a powerful lesson in compassion.
I feel for them. It's just a lot to go through when you're that young.
It can be awkward for children who have next to nothing, like 6-year-old Nana.
What are these?
To face an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet.
That's a lot of ketchup.
We asked him how many times he had a breakfast this big. Each child here bears a significant struggle, not of their making. Most live below the poverty line. Some eat only when at school, while others cope with stress their older buddy could not possibly fathom.
And they don't know what it's like to go hungry or to not have the clothing that we all take advantage of, or a place to sleep.
Did you like going shopping?
Yeah.
Maura Deanna spent this day with Rebecca, a very grateful 7-year-old.
It was the best meal I ever had.
So what's your favorite thing to do?
Soft-spoken Angel focused on eating, not chatting, with Abby and Taylor. The 6-year-old recently survived a kidney transplant.
Do you want more French fries?
Finishing up your breakfast, we're going to go shopping.
The next stop, a much-needed trip to Target.
You're going to have $115 to spend.
Older students helped their younger partners shop.
Where is the dresses or t-shirts?
But only for necessities. Like shoes.
That's cute. Do you like them?
And clothing.
I want this because it has Elsa and Anna and it's a pajama.
Rebecca was set on getting attire from the movie Frozen, her inspiration.
Let it go, can't hold it back anymore.
This event was inspired by immeasurable sorrow. 27 years ago, 19-year-old West Springfield graduate Christy Brown died in a car crash. Her mother, Karen, then started Christy's Christmas to honor a daughter who always thought of others first.
We know it helps the little kids, but the high school one, so many have said it's a life-changing event.
Oh, hey!
Tommy Howe and Johnny Cronin chaperoned Nana.
Where to?
Straight.
They maneuvered through the store like long-lost friends.
To see people who are less fortunate than we are, it's really humbling, and it makes you kind of take a step back and see all that you've been blessed with.
Are you excited for what you got?
After leaving Target, the children thought this memorable day was over. But then walked in the biggest surprise of all.
Merry Christmas!
They all met Santa Claus, who gave each child a stuffed animal and more needed supplies.
Oh, a notebook!
Yeah! So,
What do you think, Nana?
awesome.
As the event came to a close, Nana and many others had a hard time saying goodbye.
It meant the world to me. I mean, it's life-changing. I'm remembering this kid. Where you going, Nana?
While the children left with arm loads,
This day is
Oh, yeah, sure.
the best day ever.
Oh, man. Today was the best.
the teenagers went home with something far more lasting. The lesson learned from Christy's Christmas is that the holiday season is not about getting. It's about giving.
It's very special to see these kids happy for a day.
Jay Korff,
Merry Christmas.
News Channel 8. The expectation that red will change to green keeps traffic in the nation's capital moving and its drivers safe and sane. What happens, though, if a light stays red?
It needs to be fixed.
But no one fixes it.
I don't know why you haven't fixed it, man.
I don't know.
I come through here probably twice a day.
Keontae Darby knows the intersection of Rhode Island Avenue and Brentwood Road in Northeast all too well.
The light doesn't change. It doesn't turn green at all.
She and many others say for weeks, maybe months,
It's got to be broken. Or something got to be wrong.
the lights for bustling Rhode Island have remained green, but those on narrow one-way Brentwood have been stuck on red, tying up traffic and making left-hand turns a no-no.
Some people want to make the left. I want to go down that way.
But this is far more than a frustration.
I think this is a dangerous intersection and the light needs to be fixed.
Drivers wait for several minutes, realize something is wrong, then frantically search for a gap in traffic.
You have to take it at your own risk when there's no traffic.
Time and time again, we saw drivers dashing into the intersection, making an illegal left on red. Truck driver Troy Bullock knows in his big rig, he can't risk it.
It's crazy. I don't know what the D.C. government, they should be doing something about this.
Well, we contacted the city, and within hours, a contractor was on scene.
I see that they are finally fixing the lights.
While troubleshooting the problem,
33 MC1 programming,
he temporarily programmed the traffic signals to a normal cycle.
That excites me.
Returning sanity to a small corner of Washington.
No more backed up traffic. I think everybody is satisfied.
A local man who doesn't even consider himself to be a runner recently competed in a 100-mile race to raise money and awareness for a cause that's very close to his heart.
And our Jay Korff joined him on what would be a remarkable and emotional journey. It's a story you'll see only on 7.
2, 1, go!
Just before dawn last month, hundreds of runners started the Mohican 100-mile trail race in Ohio.
Water's on the right, heat's on the left.
How you feeling? I'm good right now, Jay. I'm good. We killed 4 miles. We got 4 miles down. We got 96 more to go.
Tattoo Tom Mitchell, the Springfield, Virginia man known for his skin markings, is running this 4-loop course with training partner Adam Kathuda for 100 heart-wrenching reasons. Each mile is for a different child who is battling cancer or has died from cancer.
Levi Howard, mile 50. Nico Casabria, mile 51.
The race is a fundraiser for his foundation, Still Brave, which formed after his daughter Shayla died 5 years ago of cancer.
With my daughter, I haven't gotten over it. I haven't pushed past it.
Still Brave supplies non-medical needs like gas cards and groceries to families whose children are battling cancer. Mitchell hopes this race replicates the anger, fear, and pain that comes with cancer. At the halfway point, Mitchell starts to suffer.
It hurts right now to run like this, but I mean, these kids go through worse every single day.
Among those crewing for Tom and Adam, Ellen and Mark Miller. Their daughter Gabriella was the local 10-year-old who, despite fighting cancer, was an outspoken advocate for more pediatric disease research. Mitchell dedicated this race to his dear friend on the day she died last October.
What Tom is doing is unbelievable and amazing, but he's doing it because our daughter's dead.
For Mitchell, lap 3 would be the crack in his inked armor.
I just want to quit. I want to lose.
To make matters worse, Adam dropped out at mile 77. Mitchell feared he could not finish by himself, which led to this outburst.
100-mile races have you run?
I haven't run any.
Please stop saying you know I got it. You don't know I got it.
Somehow Mitchell pushed past his exhaustion. At mile 99, he greeted Gabriella Miller during mile 100, his daughter Shayla. And with only 30 minutes to spare before reaching the race's 32-hour deadline, Tattoo Tom Mitchell crossed the finish line.
As I was running, after Adam dropped, I got really scared and I got really lonely. And I said, Gabriella, Shayla, I don't know how this being dead stuff works, but I need your help. Because I can't finish this race by myself. I know I can't finish it by myself. And all of a sudden, people started popping across my path, and they got me across the finish line.
I love you.
Jay Korff, ABC 7 News.
Wow. Wow. Tattoo Tom Mitchell's fundraising goal was $50,000 going in, but you know what? He raised $86,000 for Still Brave Foundation. Wow. Love that.
There are just no words for what he did.
Now that is reality television I think we all need to see more of.
Exactly.
Way to go, Tattoo Tom.